Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome back. You're here at the Fox Den with Peter Voss, the Papa Fox, and we are going to continue playing the Banner Saga by Stoic. Music by Austin Wintory. I need to get in the habit of saying that because the music in this game is just so amazing. When we last left off, we had switched over to a new set of characters, Rook, Alette, and Ivor, and Egil in Skoger. And now we are on the path to Frostveller because our hometown has been totally overrun with dredge, and we are now fleeing for our very lives. We did stop for the night, but let's see, normal morale. We are going to leave and continue on our way. Let's see what we can do. Okay, morale is declined, but we're still at normal morale, so we're not gonna rest just yet. We're still okay. Morale, by the way, gives you more willpower when you start matches. Alette marches up quietly alongside the caravan, a little distance since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oddleaf approaches you both. Oh, and we had sided with a couple of one-time farmers because they and a bunch of other people wanted to leave their village, and we had to kill some folk, and Alette did not like that very much. Alette, I have something for you. Oddleaf has gathered up the long banner from the caravan and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this about? I was hoping you'd sew up the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skoger. Come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Before you can comment, she departs. Dad, are you the chieftain now? Looks that way. Oh, then that means... You're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Oddleaf has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skoger throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in every town. I wish she were here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. The section of banner about your family is short, but Alette has been sewing in colorful designs. Why do you say that? She doesn't have had to deal with all of this, with Dredge leaving home, and why did you have to kill those men in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. I had to make a hard choice, because the Dredge are terrifying. Every time we have to fight them, I just want to run, but I don't want to kill a person. Please. Are you mad at me? No. I'm glad you don't want to. Alette smiles at this, then her face sinks again. I guess I would do it if I really had to, but do we have to? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I know, Dad. I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you. You spend the rest of your time together sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skoger is your burden now. It's such a sad tale. This game really does pull at the heartstrings every once in a while. So how are you guys doing? I'm doing absolutely wonderfully. I want to take a quick aside here. Let's actually just take a look at some of our heroes. We can have that on screen while I talk. Let's actually take out Mulligan. Let's take out Oddleaf and put in that. There we go. I am thinking about making a compilation of all my, well, not all of my D&D puns, but a few of them. I'm working with somebody to help maybe try to put together some like punny equipment and gear and maybe some character ideas and everything. And that might be forthcoming. You can see I have nothing's settled right now. This is so up in the air right now. So I don't have any firm plans. It's just something that is being brainstormed. But if you want to have a taste of it, you can head on over to my Twitter, and you might be able to see some of the stuff as it develops. Regardless, I am going to be putting up some stuff possibly on the DM's Guild or Drive-Thru RPG or something like that. I haven't done a whole lot of research yet, and I need to, but I am super excited about that. It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely feeling energized. Okay, so we just ranked up Egil, and we have 2 points available. So we are definitely going to give him... We're actually going to give him far more armor, because he's going to be somebody who's just going to be taking hits. He's going to be our human anchor. Oh. Almost sneezed. Holy moly. Whew. That could have been very bad for all of you. Where is Ivor? There we go. Ivor. Okay, he can have a full-on 17 armor. Egil, 16 armor. So if we can get him up to his full armor strength, we'll have someone who's basically as hard to crush as a Varl. So, let's be about that. Let's leave. We are going to talk with Oddleaf, so let's go ahead and do that. Sorry if I'm sniffling. We have been getting some really odd cold temperatures, as most of the U.S. is getting. So I've had coffee, I've had some nice warm curry, but I am still a little sniffly, so I do apologize for that. How are you doing, Odd? I'm all right. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. People tell me I am a strong woman. It's funny, my father named me Oddleaf before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman. What does that even mean? That's... These two I'm kind of like tempted. I usually go with it means you're going to be okay. Because it doesn't really matter how you deal with situations. I mean, people have their own ways of dealing with it and dealing with certain situations. And in the most part, people are okay after a certain period of time. It doesn't mean that they can wield two-handed swords and wear plate armor and everything. It means that they're able to bear through tough times, however that may be. So I think I'm going to go with this one. That's not being strong, that's just being. I feel nothing about my husband. Dying people... if I feel nothing about my husband, dying people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. You asked me to come find you? Yes, it's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. Your family, you should carry it. You're right, I should. It should be mine. I could carry it, but I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. I think they would follow you. I would vouch for you. I think they would follow you. Come on, Rook. This isn't time for the time for pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us? I think this is what has to happen. Maybe this is what it means to be a strong woman. She looks sideways, eventually giving over a timid smile. I'm not sure if that's the dumbest thing I've heard or the sweetest. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is, my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Eled. I know you're going to take good care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to camp. Yeah, Oddleif is an excellent character. She's pretty cool. I really like her. Okay. We aren't going to rest. We are just going to continue on because we need to conserve as much supplies as we possibly can. We only have 17 days. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. We're going to send them off with extra supplies. I know this is probably going to rub some folk along the wrong way, but when the going gets tough, if you're kind, you might... It's a gamble, and if we give them extra supplies, if they come back, they'll bring reinforcements. So we're going to do this. If that's all you're taking, you may never make it, you say, grabbing a few items from a supply wagon. You strap the additional provisions to their backs. Search for family instead of food, you say with a smile. The men clasp wrists with you before departing. -8 fighters, -3 supplies. That's okay, +10 renown. That's even better. Normal morale. Complaints of Raffensvarter's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snagged canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and Raffensvarter's leg before leading him to you. We're not gonna punish him physically. This man drinks nothing but water from now on. Raffensvarter groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow you'll doubt it'll be long before Raffensvarter manages to find another drink, whether you allow it or not. True. Okay, let's see what happens. Dredge! Shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Raffensvarter, the unabashed drunk, staggering toward you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to the trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return. No sightings, and furious men surround Raffensvarter. We are going to ready ourselves just in case. He might have saw something. There'll be a time for that later, you tell the men. For now, we take no chances. A full day of uneasy rest passes with no sign of Dredge. The caravan is annoyed by the scare and the delay. Eventually, Raffensvarter bursts into laughter, and you're sure there were never any Dredge. Not long after, Raffensvarter goes missing. Nobody searches for him, or seems to mind. Morale declined. Yeah, but...
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostvellir now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against Dredge as well.
Oh, pretty artwork. Very pretty artwork. And, oh, you see here, weak morale, so at some point we're going to have to rest. You jostle through fallow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostvellir for days. The gates are closed. You come to stop at the bottom of the hill. Oh, this could be interesting. This is not looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? We can't stay outside in the open like this. Oddleif finds you amongst the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody is being let into the city. Why? It's overrun with Varl from Blotsblocker, Greyhorn, people from Bertra. All the nearby villages, the dredge are everywhere. And the chieftain of Frostfeller has locked himself in his great hall. That's when they closed the gates. When the dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there. We're not going to lay low. I want to know more about what's going on in there. I see a lot of people gathered around the rest houses and the gates. We could find out what they know. How would we get in anyway? They closed the gate. I can get that gate open. Let's see if there's any other way before we start breaking down gates. Besides, if we break down the gate, then we'll have to repair it, and I don't know if we have the time for that. I wasn't going to break it. I was just going to push really hard. Oh me, oh my. Okay. So, we are definitely going to rest. You spend a whole day at the rest houses. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain just shut himself in his great hall and closed the gates. There are a lot of wounded people here, adds Alette. We could help them. Egil pulls you aside. I followed the outside of the city walls, he said. And there's a water passage which we could squeeze through, I think. Not the whole caravan, but if a handful of us get in, we might open the gates from the inside. The rest house is overflowing with refugees, the sick and wounded and noise. We're going to attend to the wounded. Alette and Oddleif spend the day along with the others in your caravan treating wounds, most of which came from the archers at the gates. I overheard from a woman that the city has been sending carts with food around. Oddleif tells you. Could be a way in, Ivor replies. Next time they send a cart, we bring it back in. Oddleif protests. Aside from leading to a fight, it would probably mean no more food for the refugees. We'll wait and confront them. Keep your sword down until we need it, you tell Ivor. We'll make a deal unless they're looking for a fight. Early the next day, you spot another cart leaving the gates of the city. After they've thrown their scraps to the refugees, you approach. Oh, this could be interesting. Stop, my friend wanted to talk with you. That's not what I wanted. I think I can guess why. If we knew there were more fighters than Varl out here, Egil might have brought you into the city. Who's Egil? He's in charge up there. In charge of what? Better let him explain. Fine, let's go. He nods. You follow him back up to the gates, where they open the doors for you. A man clad in black approaches as you step inside. What in the depths is this? The man orders his guards to get the doors closed again before more refugees notice. You said you wanted fighters. You heard about the chieftain? We heard he's hiding out in the Great Hall. Oh, really? You think mean hiding out in a grave? Think you mean hiding out in a grave? Sorry about that. He's eating worms, if that wasn't clear. What happened in there? Soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who couldn't swing an axe got one to the head. That's the short story, anyway. At least 3 clans in here warring over turf and food, and the worst are the godforsaken Varl. He eyes Ivor and shrugs with exaggeration, as if simply stating the obvious. We're in more danger here than out there. Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. You got some people who can fight. You've got your own Varl. That counts for something. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me, and to take back Frostfeller. I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys become the bad. Fine, cut these sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do right now is get out of the damned streets. Think carefully about what you want. well, fend for ourselves inside Frostfeller. You can feel Eckel sizing you up on the spot, his hand hovering near his axe. He snorts through his nose, changing his mind. Good luck, then. Hope we don't meet again fighting for the same scraps. With the gates closed, Eckel and his men disappeared down dark alleys. Hope we know what we're doing. Making it up as we go, Ivor. Chapter 3. Little Did They Sleep. Whew, boy. That was rough. And we go back. And can we click? No. Heck on, we're back. I was able to get about as many warriors from Strand as you wanted, and more weapons. Extra supplies, too. You perk up, just now realizing Logger has been talking to you. Since Vognir died, everyone has been looking to you to make the decisions. It's exhausting. Hakon? Sorry, just tired. Go on. I was saying that the Varl we sent to Strand have returned. The governor gave us most of what we wanted. Good enough. Much resistance from the governor? Some. I don't think he was happy about us buying his fighters using his own money. He also insisted we take on a lackey of his to watch over his property. A man named Eirik. Eirik? I met him. He seemed competent enough. Regardless, the governor will have to get over it unless he wants the dredge crawling through his streets. We've put down every slag that has wandered through here and while you were gone. Enough flapping of mouths, then. You're sure that wound is healed, Luden? I agree. Enough has already gone wrong. If something happens to the prince on a mission of peace, the alliance would rot. Or worse. Luden makes his own decisions. We would only be made to do this again later. I will not suffer it all a second time. Either take us through the wandering road, or do your job and slaughter some dredge. Luden turns abruptly with a scowl. He stamps back to his ring of tents and followers. Wandering roads? Not an option with this many. I could crush that boy's skull with one hand. If Luden won't be deterred, you'll have to deal with it. Don't let Luden get to you. Let's go. I'm sick of looking at this camp. What do I tell the warriors, Hakon? Tell them to be cautious. No more losses. Will do. Give the word and we'll set off. Okay. So, we are actually going to call this an end of the episode. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button or give me some feedback if you prefer. Of course, if you enjoy my other work, then a subscription to the channel would also be most appreciated. As always, it's great to see you all here at the Fox Den. I hope you come back next time and pull up a chair for some more Banner Saga. Alrighty, you take care now. Bye.